Now, moving on, because it was not just one commit, like I mentioned a moment ago, but it was two, and two offensive linemen recruits that made their commitment to Oklahoma today. The other one was Kaeden Penny, a highly touted 2027 offensive line prospect out of Bixby High School, the first time that Oklahoma has gotten a guy out of Bixby High School in the 21st century, not including walk-ons. So to recruit them on scholarship, it's very, very exciting for Oklahoma to be able to get two top recruits on the offensive line, keep on building that offensive line. Now, man, it's really promising when you think of Fasusi and Ryan Foje and what they bring to the table. And now going on to Cooper Hackett, now Kaeden Penny coming over to Oklahoma in the 2027 class on that offensive line. It's definitely really big news for Oklahoma. It's a big one. Penny, he's one of the top offensive linemen in the entire country, and his decision again gives Oklahoma another massive boost for that future, another kind of key anchor point for him to be able to bring Oklahoma's 2027 class and being able to anchor it around those two big recruits. So let's get started with the profile here on Penny. Stands there about 6'4". And honestly, I've seen measurements for his weight between 265 and 280 pounds, which means he could stack on some weight. And that's a good thing. Maybe we could get him above 200, above that 300-pound mark and really make him real monster about him. But he's been climbing in the rankings really fast. And there's even some talk that it's a possibility that he could be a 5-star by the end of this, which would be crazy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. He's the number 34 overall player in the class, number 7 offensive tackle nationally. And here's the kicker, too, is that he's considered the second best recruit in the state of Oklahoma for 2027, right behind Cooper Hackett, who also, of course, as we just mentioned, flipped his commitment over to Oklahoma. So that is a haul for Oklahoma. Not just 2 top recruits in Oklahoma, but 2 offensive line recruits that you pull in the entire nation. So awesome news for the Oklahoma Sooners when we're talking about this. And so you talk about the recruitment, he had no shortage of offers either. This is a big-time recruit for Oklahoma. It's one that I think Oklahoma fans didn't really hear as much of until today, but he's had some offers from Ohio State, LSU, Texas A&M, Nebraska, Texas Tech. So all of them came very hard after Penny. So really good news, because at the end of the day, Oklahoma's culture, the reputation of that offensive line with Bill Bedenbaugh and being able to develop and get guys to the NFL, it made an impression. Of course, with him visiting too, and visiting with Cooper Hackett, visiting and seeing that atmosphere, the Oklahoma atmosphere. Oklahoma fans, you are making a difference in the recruiting, and just by showing up and showing out at games. That's a big part of recruiting that Oklahoma fans don't realize, that you do have a part in that. So for Oklahoma moving forward, kind of bringing him into the fold, the class is really climbing. It really is. In fact, Oklahoma's now surged up the rankings quite a bit in the Rivals industry recruiting rankings for that class since getting these 2 with Penny, and then of course with Damari DeZoom, and then you have Cooper Hackett, Luke Wilson. So, I mean, this is a recruiting class right now that Brent Venables and the staff can really build their entire offense around. And, of course, that offensive line, being able to build around these guys that you're bringing in, that's really awesome. Now, for his profile, Penny's versatility, it's a really big part of his value. He's kind of a force at that offensive tackle, but he also contributed on the defensive line, which just kind of shows it's going to help with the mental side of things, understanding that side of the ball. And then, of course, being able to understand the physicality there. And there's a lot that goes into that. Being able to play on both sides of the ball, you have to like that for Oklahoma. The versatility there, I think that's a big part of what brings it in. So his physicality, his technique, and his ability to be able to protect the quarterback, it really stands out. But he brings all that toughness from the defensive side of the ball, which Oklahoma is really looking forward to. So it's a big win, adding another elite athlete, especially on that offensive line. And of course, signaling that Oklahoma's recruiting class is just going to keep on jumping up and kind of showing that resurgence is starting to happen. When these things start to come in once, and Jim Nagy just put this out not too long ago where, hey, usually when you get one, there's more that start to follow after. And sure enough, that's exactly what we're starting to see here. And so bottom line, Kaeden Penny, he's more than just that big time commitment. It solidifies that Oklahoma's reputation as a destination for elite offensive linemen. It's still there, and for him and Hackett, and seeing the other guys that they've brought in as well, it's a very stacked 2027 class. That's going to help for years to come. So Oklahoma landing another building block in that class, going to be a lot of fun to see where they end up. And I think a lot of these guys, it's going to be exciting for Oklahoma to be able to see that the offensive line is going to be stacked for years with guys that you can build within the program and not having to go out in the transfer portal and get them necessarily. So very exciting news, very exciting times to be able to get Cooper Hackett and Kaeden Penny in at this on the same day too. So two top recruits, very good stuff there for Oklahoma in that 2027 class.